Sometimes we wish we had done some things or other people had done some things which will in turn have changed the trajectory of events which occurred either in our life or on other people's life. And that thing is called regret. And regret usually manifests in our stories or how we comment when other people are doing things which we wish we were doing. And especially, it's usually rampant in football. Like, for instance, in Africa, football is a poor man's sport. It's played everywhere, at the ghettos, countryside. Like, it's available for everybody. And one thing that people, because a lot of people play football, they also think, like, relative to others, that they are the best. Like, for instance, Haaland misses a pass or Haaland misses a chance, and you'll see other people saying, like, oh, if it was me, that would be a goal. Like, I would have been scoring everywhere if I had done this and this and this and this. And I can tell that is also my story. A little bit, just a little bit. I think, like, one thing that I was good at early in life was football. And it's not me saying, like, it was other people saying that, hey, you're good at this thing. And that time we had, like, the likes of Beckham, dribbling was there, Ronaldinho, stuff, Zinedine. Yeah, so it wasn't just me saying, like, okay, I'm good at football. I was comfortable, and I know a lot of people say, like, I was good at football a lot. Not one, not two, like a lot. You go, you make stories. So many people be saying, like, they were so good at football, like, if that persisted, like, if they were playing, they'll be at the level, like, world class level, like Neymar, like Messi. And at some point, I also felt like that way, like, I would score every match. I was in under 12 team, playing every game. And I think before things got crazy or before I took other things, I think that was my trajectory. That's what I was thinking, like, this is what I'm going to do. So in 2007, this academy called, I think, Aspire Academy. And Aspire Academy usually does scouting in Asia and in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Japan, Korea, like, they have all offices. So in 2007, I think it was from 2006 to 2007, they had this campaign. It was called Aspire 94. It was for under 14s at that time, if I remember everything correctly. So this is how they were to select the people. They were to select, I think, two people from each country, two people from Kenya, I think two people from Senegal, two people from Mali, I don't know which other country. They are to get 10 people, and they were to split them, take others to Carrington, take others to Ramon Cisneros. That's the training ground for, I think, Seville. And they were to take others to Tolavologe. I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but I think that was for Lyon. Yeah. They are to split those 10 people into those different to do trials. So they are scouting. And how they scouted it was they had to organize a competition, had first the people who are post, like, who are posted in the country, to do first the initial scouting. And in the scouting, because Africa, we don't have that structure from, kids playing from under 10. We have it in some academies, but it is not rampant anywhere. And when you go to those academies, sometimes you find that even those kids have contract because it's a business, so you just can't take them. So these guys decided that they have to go to what we call mashinani, like in the streets, and they are to create faster competition, and then they are to choose from that competition the best players. And because it was like, I don't know if it was the whole country, but I know they had to make first 128 teams initially. And this is how you progress. So you create a team, you register, you are selected for those 128 spots. And as a team, you'll have to play. It was like knockout games initially. I think the whole competition was knockout games. And in the knockout games, they will post a handler to see how you play, because they'll create those fixtures. Now you'll play each other, and then the team that progress, you just don't progress with every player. They'll see those players that are underperforming, drop them. Then they take the best players from this team that was losing and add them to the team that was progressing. So if you go to another round, you just don't go with the players that you started. You win, you increase your chances of going to the other round. But you also have to play well. Even if you lose and you play well and you are selected, now you progress, but with another team. So that was the whole idea. So you had to progress until I think the semifinals before they choose the best two. So we started. Initially it was just, oh, you just form a team, we go and play. After playing, they see you. Now, after we progressed, we had this team, and the guy I remember from my team was called Charles. The only guy I remember. I know the other guys were just from what we call mta, like the area. And we played the first game, we won, and that's where I was selected the captain. We were given uniforms and cleats, and I think gloves for the keeper for just the first 11. We started training. It wasn't like a whole day, or a long event. It was like very few days. So even if you train today, tomorrow you have another game. So we proceeded, we won another time, we won. I think our team was doing so great because we had the players. So we played so well until I think quarterfinals. And at that time, I had scored so many goals. I was playing as a winger. Charles was playing as a midfielder. And I was the only guy, I think, at that point who was playing using both left and right feet. So you could tell, like, this guy is there, this guy. So in my mind, I was like, this is my chance. Like, this is the only way. I'd even started asking people if, like, a kid needs a passport and the stuff. Like, my mind was already in Europe. Like, I was in Kenya, but my mind was in Europe. I was thinking Carrington, as much as didn't like the idea of Carrington, but all my body, my mind, everything was just, I have to be there, I have to be there. So that really pushed me. I was like playing like a madman, trying to, you don't know. I wish we had videos at that time. So we progressed. Then when we reached the, I think, quarterfinals, so you remember how When you progress, they take the better players from the team that lost, they add you to your team. So as you progress, the team starts changing. Now you have new guys. Now the guys that you were with, like those guys who are from the village, mtaa, some of them are being dropped one after another, after every round. So at quarterfinal, I think from the team that we started with, I think we are just four or something like that. And I think that's where the problem started. Now, like from the time we had 128 teams to the time we were playing like round of 16, the people who were like handling the games, like handling our teams, were just the people from the area. Doing now, from quarterfinals, now we had people from, I think, Aspire Academy who had to come. And now they were to coordinate the selections. And now that's where we saw dust. Seeing dust in our jargon is you start becoming flabbergasted. You start realizing like this world is not yours. So the first game in quarterfinal, we knew the team that we had beaten in round of 16. We knew the players that were playing in that game. So even if the best players from that team were to be selected, we already had idea who they were, how they looked like, and we had even started talking with them, some of them. So we had idea who will replace who in that team. So when we went to quarterfinal and then our handler came and he had like 5 guys. Those guys were not even under 14. They were not even under 16. Probably they were around 17, 18, but I think they were even older. So he just came and he wasn't talking. And at that point, it was so serious because those guys that were to scout were there. So you are not supposed to talk, you are just supposed to listen. And there was tension in the air. Like everybody was trying to concentrate, like I need to play my best. I need to be I need to be selected. I need to go to, if it's not England, it's France. If it's not France, it's Spain. So everybody was intentional, like that thing of, how do you say it? Like this a team was not there. It was like it's me. Like as long as I'm selected, it doesn't matter how these guys are performing or how these guys were doing or who has been dropped. It will be even better if the people that I think were my competition should be dropped. So at that time, it didn't make a lot of, what do you call it? It wasn't like really a big thing when it was big to some who are dropped, but it wasn't big to us who was elected to game. But you see, 5 positions were exchanged. Like we had new 5 players playing in our team that were not supposed to play. But I was selected and I was the captain, and nothing was going there. Like it was just, so we played the first game. Then they told us like, because there are a lot of people, we have to play the second game. It was like quarterfinals, but some things just changed. The whole competition was, the whole structure of the competition was squashed. Now things were just changing. Now we had to play the second game, but the second game it was our team, but we were not included. Now they brought in some guys, like it was just new guys. None of those guys were under 14, none of those guys were under 16. And then That's when we started complaining. Say, like, if these guys, you have never seen them play, you have been here for, I think, a week or a week and some days, you have never seen them, we have never heard of them, we don't know where they're coming from, and they're not even under 14. They're too big, too muscular, too never been seen before. This is just some like, it wasn't supposed to be that way. But when you think sometimes, and that's the problem when you think you are among the best, because when you know that you are to be selected or you are among the best, you just want the results to talk for you. Like, you want people to see how you perform, how you are playing, how you are scoring. You don't have that energy of engaging with people, telling them that, hey, you must stop this, you must. So it was just a little trying to talk to the coaches, like, he wasn't a coach, he was just a handler, talking to the handler, telling them that if this is our team, we should be playing. These guys are not there. Why are they here and what are they doing now? Our handler tried to create some stories. Then he went missing. Then he came back. So the first game we were defeated. The second game we were defeated. Now they were selecting people. I knew that I had played the first game so well. The second game I wasn't playing. And I knew that probably I wasn't to be selected, but luckily I was selected to the semi-finals or something like sort. And I have told you that the structure was now changing. Now some other guys were just told you that you are not selected, you are not selected, you are not selected, you'll proceed, you'll proceed. So I was selected, Charles was selected, and another guy was selected. But the guy that was selected was not even playing so well. Like, he was a defender, but you could see how, like, his first touch non-existent. Like, I started noticing it, and I knew that as much as I'm trying to tell myself that, yo, you are playing well, you'll be selected, I knew that things were not going so well here. Like, things will turn. Like, I have to be very careful, and at that time I had no, like, somebody to watch over me, like a guardian, like that, trying to tell you, like, hey, if you do this wrong, we will square it up. So, and at that time everybody was for himself, like everybody was just taking care of himself. And now the results for us were to be just for us, like, the results were the only thing remaining at that point. So when we went to the, I think, semi-final, and it was very, now it was so official. Now we could say that those guys, the Mzungus, the white people, they were there, they were on the bench. We had these other guys with their computer, another guy with some things to write on. We were given numbers, 88, write your name. Yeah. So we knew that this was the game. Like, now we have to perform. But now things just changed. Our handler just picked our first 11 that none of those guys were under 14. None of those guys were under 16. None of those guys were even under 18. Like, we were just sitting there thinking, like, hey, what's happening? So we started complaining. That guy started complaining. And I knew that if we will not play that game, that will be the end of us. So I was telling Charles that we need to, and Charles was a little more aggressive than me. So He was the one telling them like, hey, if you don't do this, I'll just go myself and tell these guys that whatever was happening here. And he was saying like, hey, if you do that, that's the end of it. I'm trying to fix you. Like, just, you know how you manage people. You try to tell them that, this thing is passing, but you have a fix. We know you are good, and you too will most likely be selected, but we are trying a way to fix you to go to final. So if you give me an easy time, I'll make things work for you. So I always listen to instructions. So I was there like, okay, if whatever you have said, I'm listening. But Charles was like, no, 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 no. Whatever I said is bullocks, bullshit. We have to make noise. So he was there, and this guy saw, hey, this guy is making too much noise. So in second half, he just pulled Charles in the game. And I was there thinking, now the guy who was like, he was tetearing us. Tetearing is like, how do you say it? Like he was representing us in the grievance. I was talking on behalf of us. Now was given a game, and I was there thinking, is this guy really going to make things right for me, or I'll just be another guy that? So I also started bickering, talking like, hey, wait, hey, what's up? Like, why are you, what, talking and talking and talking? I was like, you know what? Every minute these guys are playing, I think he got angry. He got angry because, again, our team was losing, and I don't know what was happening. He was trying to make some deals, and I was really disturbing him. And I wasn't a likable character at that point. Even at this point, I'm not like really, really likable. So I just, I think I just messed his energy up. So he was like, every minute that these guys are playing, I'm getting paid. And you have not paid anything. Like, you are here just because I think you should be here. But I should have sent you home long time ago. So if you keep making noise for me, you'll not get a chance. So that's when I realized that these other guys had paid to be scouted. Like, they were there because of their pockets. And I was there wondering, like, hey, what do I do? Should I just keep quiet? Will he put me in? Should I continue talking? Should I go to those scouts and just tell them that, you know what, these guys that you are saying here are not the guys that should be playing? But the thing is, I wasn't aggressive that much. So when I realized that those guys had paid and this guy was just, it was like England. Carrington was flying away. Carrington was not there anymore. But I was given the last, I think, 7 minutes, but it was not enough for me to really show myself out. So none of us got selected. I think Charles got selected, but he wasn't selected on the best two. I lost communication with them, but that's what happens a lot. Especially, I know we have this idea of scouting in Kenya, and I see a lot of people complaining. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't, but it's just sometimes opportunity, luck, and some people, even if they're not as talented as you think they are, they have these other guys that fix them. So whatever you think, whatever you are saying, especially I've seen a lot of people complaining about Harambee Stars and the stuff and how we have talented guys. Sometimes those talented guys may not be as talented as you think, but sometimes they may be talented, but they just didn't get the right opportunity, or they couldn't just fit in the structure that awards or rewards the people that control the structure. So sometimes you have people that bet and they want you to lose a game so that they'll have money. So if you can talk to them well and lose games for them, they could even fix you in Premier League, not Premier League, Kenya Premier League. Or sometimes if you could just talk well to them, like if you could agree for them to be your agent, now they could try to fix you into those Asians, J League, what do you call it? Those Qatar. So sometimes if you have to win, even if you are talented, you have to really know how to be a little corrupt